Hello everyone, it's Lena from Bespoke Craft Designs. I've got another video. This one I'm going to do I'm still working with my journal with the Eco Dye papers in, but I wanted to do some bits of ephemera to go in it. And just been playing around with an idea. Actually, when I first started sort of crafting and things, I never did a full process. I used to play with paints and play with folding paper because I like folding paper. Didn't even really know so much about junk journals as such. I did more around scrapbooking because I like to put photographs in books when I've been on holiday and stuff. And in fact, I've got about 4 scrapbooks on the go and I haven't finished them, because I lost a bit of inspiration, but that's another story. And what I used to do was do lots of bits of different, I like doing different pockets and different little envelopes and different places to put my photographs, because if sometimes you want your photographs on display, but sometimes you might want to keep them, but I used to put them all in like a little envelope or a little pocket. I will get them out and show you what I mean in my scrapbooking ones, but they're put away at the moment, but I will get them out. But anyway, as I was playing about, we were going away on holiday and I thought I'm going to have to take something with me because I really don't know what I'm going to do. I've always got to be busy and I've always got to be doing something. And I took some papers and I took limited little bits of papers and things, and I made some of these little fold away sheets that you can then journal on. You could actually still slip a photograph in there if you wanted to, and then it's got a cover on the front, and this one's just got a sticker with a camera on it, and just some text on some vellum. And I really like this idea, and I've forgotten all about it. It was only the other day I was going through, as I say, I'd got loads of ideas, put all these ideas together, and I just had them piled together, and then I put them in like a bag, just a paper bag. And when I started doing junk journals, I thought, oh, I'm going to use all these in one journal. So it's very, doesn't really match. It was just, every time I saw an idea, I practiced it, had a go at it, put it all in one journal. So the papers are all different, nothing really matches. So I will get it out and I will show you that, and I will show you the ones I made with the scrapbooking, but I will have to get them all out. I have got the very first journal I ever did with all these in, and I do use it, I do journal in it, but it's a bit mismatched, but it has got lots of ideas in it, and this is one of them. This was just slipped into a pocket, and I just thought, oh, I'm going to have a go at some of these. I haven't done them for ages, and I've had to remind myself how to do them because I couldn't remember, and I didn't see this. I'm not saying it's not on YouTube, because I imagine it will be somewhere. I didn't see this on YouTube. This was just from me messing about. As a kid, we used to make these envelopes. We used to send them around class at school. We used to make them and put little notes in them and send them to each other. And this was just something that, but I mean, they didn't have the fancy bit on. And we used to hide them in each other's desks and things years ago, when we should have been working, I might add. So I just thought, oh, I'll have a go at them. So what I've put together, the things that I use. So I'll just put that to one side at the minute. So you want a square of paper. Because I journal on mine, or use it, you don't have to journal on it. You could just stick a picture in the middle, but it will make a smaller square when it's folded. Because I journal on it, I use either plain paper. Oh, excuse me. You can use white paper. You can use just scrapbooking paper. In fact, I've got a couple to show you that. Oh, I did. I've moved everything to one side and I don't know where I've put it. It will turn up, I am sure. Oh, is it in my box of... Oh, it is. It's in my box of makes. So this one here is literally a square that I had of some real thin giveaway paper that came in a magazine. And that square is 22... obviously 22 centimetres squared. I think and so I've just folded that from the size of that square, and obviously it makes a much smaller square. It now becomes 11 centimetres square when you've finished it. I'll show you that when I finish the one that I've done, when I clear my desk. So all I've used here is some coffee dyed papers, and these were A4, so I just cut off the excess. Once I've measured the square, I cut off the excess. And I've got 2 or 3 just to go through the process with you. So that's the papers I'm going to use. Then again, you don't even have to put a cover on if you don't want to. You could just put an embellishment straight onto the folded paper, but I do mine with some vellum. And these were freebies that they were just free to download, and I've just downloaded them onto vellum. Be careful if you're putting vellum in your printer, because I've had all sorts of mistakes, but the way I do it now is stick a piece of copy paper on the back. Make sure the edges are very tight, and then let the glue, once you've printed it, let the glue dry before you pull it off. So I've just got some freebie bits of vellum. You might have some printed vellum already that you've got that will go with your, the scheme that you're doing, but I didn't have any, I just had plain vellum. And then I also use, because obviously if you're gluing vellum down, you can see where you've put your glue. So I use a piece of, you can either use washi tape, or I use bits of ends of paper that I've got and just put some double-sided tape on the back. That one's just a piece of thin card that's had an avocado die on it. These ones that I've done here, they're just my collage papers I make when I'm collaging and doing the collage papers, and you actually see where I've been cutting it. And that's got loads of different bits of colours in it, so I thought, right, I'll use some of that. So you want some of that as well. Oh, there's another one there. That is literally just some splashes on a piece of paper. I'd got it as sort of a mop-up paper at the back, and as I was splashing onto different sheets of paper, this was the effect on this piece of paper. I don't know where the full piece is now though. It'll be in my bin here ready for collaging. I'm not sure where the full piece of that is. Oh, I'm so... There's stuff all over the place. I find it and then it goes again. I've obviously just had this because I've just cut this out, but I don't know where it's gone. I also thought, I haven't done this one before, but these are on one of the, I think these are the Mrs. Coggs. Do you know, when I cut them out, I haven't got the bit on that tells me if these are the Mrs. Coggs images or whether these are from, they're either Mrs. Coggs images or they're from Graphic Fairy. I print that many out. I really need to put a little label on them. I will look and see what they are, and I will put a link below to what they are, because I printed some banners and things out that are going to go in my journal. But there was also some strips like this, just all on a sheet in the colours that I want, just all on a sheet, and I thought, oh, I might use one of them. And in fact, I've it's just printed on the back of some paper that I tried to do some printables, and I did them far too small. They were tiny, tiny little printables. Because I haven't got my head around this, changing the size of what I want yet. And I do know how to do it if I think about it, but I have to think about it, and I don't. I just go on in there, press print, and anything comes out. So I end up with lots of misprints, but I use them. So I'm trying to just move things out of your line of view so it doesn't confuse you. Right. Oh, I've got a clean area to work with. So let me just bring these a bit closer. So you've literally got a square, and then you want to fold them. Can you see what I'm doing? Yeah, fold them corner to corner. So the way I do it is get my points together and then work my way back to my next point, because you want it to be quite crisp if you can. Right into the corners, and just gently pinch it down for a start until you've got it completely. Sorry, I keep lifting it up because I've got to be able to see what I'm doing. Yep. And then I just gently start to fold, to give a good fold. If I have my bone folder here, it is here, but where here? Goodness knows. I think I've got about 3 or 4 on the go at the minute, but I can never find them when I want them. I've got my scoreboard here somewhere, so I know it's here. Now, because I have cut this from a bigger piece, and I don't measure anything, I did measure it. I measured it roughly to be, as I say, 21 centimetres. I've now got a little bit of overhang, so I just go in and trim that with my scissors. Because what you're trying to achieve is a square. When you're finished, you want a square. You started with a square. Obviously, I didn't have quite a square, but you want a square, and then you're going to fold it, and you're still going to end up with a square, but a much smaller one. But if you don't trim this little bit, when it's finished, you won't get such a crisp edge when it's finished. You'll be able to see the edges. Right, so once you've got your now you've got a triangle because you've just bent it in half. Then you're going to take this long edge and you're going to take this point and point it down and fold it right in to the other point. Keep the edges straight at the edge. Like that, and then do the same with this one. So you want them as close together, not overlapping, but close together, so the points meet at the bottom, and then fold it, and you should end up with a nice neat square. Just give it a good fold, and so if you've got a bone folder, use a bone folder, and you've got a square. Then when you open it up, I've got the darker paper on the inside and the lighter one on there. You can do it whichever way you want. I've just done it with the lighter on the outside, and then you just decorate it any which way you want. I've also, this was when I was doing my what's this, avocado dyeing papers. This is a piece of paper. I don't think I've got any to show you. They're just an A5 piece of paper from the works, and I think they're 130 GSM, and I've just sprayed it with some. I've actually sprayed it, but I've had other papers on top, so it's given all sorts of nice shapes. But you'd still be able to write on that. So I've actually done the same with that, folded it, because I started with a much smaller square, but because this is quite thick, you don't get such a crisp image, you're better with a thinner. This is just a copy of paper, this one, and because it's thinner it's easier to fold. This one hasn't folded right in at that edge there. There's a little tiny bit of a gap, not much, but a little bit of a gap there. It still looks alright, still looks cute and nice, and it's still, you can still use it to write on. Now this one started out as, what size was this? 13.5 centimetres square, and it's ended up at 6 3/4 centimetres, the tiniest square. So I'm going to decorate these. So this one, so what you want to do, you don't want to stick anything down that's going to stop you being able to open it up on the fold. So I've done one here and decorated it on the front. This is just some vellum, and this was the one that I said was just on the scrapbooking paper, but it was a freebie and it's really thin. It was out of a book, out of a magazine, and it's just been stuck in my drawer forever. And I just saw it today and thought, oh, it's lovely because it's the pale pink and it'll pick up on the vellum that I've used. And on this one, because it was white underneath and it hasn't been coffee dyed or anything, I've just used a stencil and used a bit of milled wine distress ink just to put like a doily effect with a stencil. But obviously there's still loads of writing space on there, it's not going to interfere with that. And what you end up with on this side, you've still got plenty of writing space, and even under the vellum you can. And this bit just literally is just down on one square. So that's what it looks like when it's open. And then you just do your corners again, bend it down, and that's your flap. You can then, if you've done any writing under there, you've got your vellum there for a bit of privacy. If you don't want people to see, you could even stick a photograph under there. You could use clear vellum with a photograph under there, and that would look quite effective. There's all sorts of things you can do with them. You know, once you get an idea and you start playing with the materials that they've got, because obviously it depends what you've got. And I don't have everything in my room, so I have to bring things out. And then this one, I've just used a bit of that paper that I've just literally splashed colour on at the top as like a washi tape. So that's that one, and then just a little flower sticker. These again were ones that I had left from my card making days, because you buy all this stuff and there's no way I'm not going to use it. So I'll just put that one back in me. When I say I don't know where it is, it's in my makes box. So we've literally just folded this one. Yeah, I'm going to do a couple more. Just get them folded. So again, just try and make sure you get your points together. So if you don't get them right, clean and crisp, you'll just have to do a little bit of trimming off. I mean, if it's already a proper square and you haven't had to cut it down from an A4 piece of paper, it obviously makes a need to, you know, if it's been measured properly. But I don't do measuring, I'm rubbish at it. When I used to sew, when in our younger days, and when we moved into our house, it needed a lot of work doing to it. And my husband's an electrician by trade, and he hadn't worked on the tools for years because he was sort of office based, but he was electrician by by trade, so anything that was electrical we had no problems with. He could do all that, and there was, you know, it was never a bodged up job, or it was always done really well. Obviously with electrics you've got to know what you're doing, but we always did all our own DIY. And he always used to say to me, now what's the saying? Measure twice and cut once. And we always laugh about that, because neither of us could measure or cut straight, and we always had a few tries at things before we got it right. And he still says that to me now, measure twice and cut once. Because, and I said, oh well, with this you don't have to be quite so precise, and that's why I like it. And again, when you're doing things that are homemade, they're never absolutely perfect. That's what makes them so special. So again, that's just another one. I think I only need to do 2. You don't need to see me keep folding them, but I just wanted a couple to play with. So I've done it so that I've got my flaps like that, and I'm going to stick it down on there. This one I've got the flap upwards. Doesn't make any difference as long as you don't go on this flap. And then you've got a plain square, and that's the bit that we're going to be covering, and it's the same with this little tiny one. I'm going to do that one as well. Right, so what did I have? I'll do this little one first, because I don't think I'm going to put vellum on this little one. I don't know. I suppose I could. I've got a little square of vellum there. Well, that's quite nice. Let me just cut that out. Oh, these are just some printables that I've just found, ones that were in the colour scheme I wanted, and then copied them. See, that one, that doesn't fit to size, which doesn't matter, but I do want this black edge off, because I don't like the black edge where it's gone through the printer and it's showing the shadow of where it's lent against something else, another piece of paper possibly. Doesn't matter that it's got a bit of a white edge there, because I'm going to be putting something down on there. That's quite nice. What's this? Has that got some? Oh, that's a bit I've cut off. That's one of my digital prints, and it's a tiny piece, and it's actually got, I was obviously messing about these before I started, and I'd left a butterfly there as well. Oh, I'll go with this. So this one isn't going right to the edge. This has just got some double-sided tape on, and I'm peeling it. That's probably why that's been left there, because I'm peeling it and it's peeling the lot off to get it's not leaving the backing on. Oh, that's it. I've managed it this time. So I'm going to take it off there and just stick it to the top of the vellum, and I've left enough space with sticky on there to stick to my piece. I'm just going to cut the edge off. I know it's got sticky on it. I've got some scissors here that are better for using. These ones, the non-stick ones, they are really good. These Fiskars ones, if you get glue on them, it comes off ever so easy. It doesn't sticky up your scissors, and I use those quite a bit. So I'm just going to sort of centralise this in the middle of there. Oh, she says. Because I've used a tiny bit of vellum and a little bit of, that looks alright, but I need a bit more purpley if I'm going to use that one. Have I got anything a little bit more purple in here? Just to put on there. Don't like all that white around that. What have I got? I've literally got a little pot here with some little bits in. I don't give myself a lot because if I do, I'd never make a decision. And I don't like faffing about too long, so I think that's too big. What have I got? Have I got anything at all? It's quite pretty, it's a bit big there, a bit big, that's tiny. That one's quite cute, but I wanted a bit of pink in it really. Oh, little pink flower. It's one of these with this white round, I don't like this white. I keep them in here because I keep hoping I'm going to find something to do with them. Oh, there's a pretty one. What's that one? Oh, I like that. I do like that one. Oh, that one's very purpley. I like that one too. What did I say? If I didn't have many, I wouldn't be faffing about long. And I literally haven't got many in here at all, but don't always have, as I say, loads of stuff to hand anyway. I have to bring them in and take them back out again because I do leave my table set up. I don't put everything away every time because it would take me that much, take me too long to put stuff away, and then yeah, I think I'm going to go with that one. I'm just looking because that's got a white background. Oh, that looks alright. Because the vellum's got like a little pretty dainty square effect on it. I don't know if you can actually, don't know whether it'll pick up, will it? Can you see it's got like a little delicate, when you put something on that's white underneath, it just gives, you can see the white, but you can see all the little squares on it as well, so it doesn't look strange, it looks fine. So do I put, because it's a small area this, so I don't want too much on it. You can decorate it as much or as little as you want. I'm just going to sort of put that one off centre. I did like that butterfly. I mean, you could actually put the butterfly under there. Oh, I do actually like that now I've seen that underneath the vellum. Here I am saying that, and I haven't done that before. I just thought, just wonder if that's a way to use those white ones. That might be an idea, to use those white ones, if I had a bit more white in my design, is to put them under the vellum. Oh, I might try that. I've literally just thought about that. You could literally just put that under there like that. Yeah. I do like that. I like that one under there. Oops. What about that under there? Now I'm going to put something on the outside there because it just holds it down a little bit, because I've bent it up, and I'm going to have it down. It doesn't matter that it flips up, but I'm going to put that on. As I say, you'll all have loads of different lovely things that you can use, especially if you've been a crafter for a while. You'll have loads of stuff in your stock, and it depends what items you have. There is a little bit of blue in this, which brings out the blue. This has got like the burgundy in here, and there is some of the blue, so that does look quite sweet on that one. And then I'll just stick it down. Use my Yoo-hoo for it, and it seems to stick okay. I'm going to do it into the corner. on that one. You could put a word on this as well if you wanted. Do what you want. As I say, with this one, I haven't done it right to the edge. I've left a little bit because I only had a tiny bit of vellum in this. And then when you open it up, oops, you've still got all your space to write in there. You can still write on this side, and you've just got that little flip on there, which becomes the pretty bit, like that. You could, if you wanted, do a bit of stamping underneath and have just stamped an image under the vellum. I'm literally thinking of things as I'm doing them, and that's what happens. You don't always have loads of ideas when you start, but then as you go along, you get more ideas. So this one here, well, that's created. That was. This is a real pale pink, but it looks like a black and white to me. It is very pale. It's got like a pale pink on it. I think you can maybe see that it has got a pale pink on it. That would be nice with a pinky a bit underneath. This, I'm going to use this one here. This is the one I used originally, that one, and as you can see, it's got purples and pinks then. I think I'm going to try this one. This again is a really pale pink on vellum, and it's got text on it. And how I do it, I cut it with a bit of a gap round it so that I can sort it out after I've got it stuck on. As I say, I don't do lots of measuring. I do have a cutter that I can bring out for a bit more precise cutting, but I've got limited space to put my cutter, so I wouldn't have my cutter on the screen. I do actually have a little, just show you, if I wanted to do it, I could use this little tiny cutter that I've got that's ever so. I can travel with this if I want to. And this was just from the range, and it's just a really small little cutter. It's ever so cute. And I got this, and it's got the extendable arm on it, so you can use this. But I'm having to squeeze in because I haven't got a lot of room. Even with this, I have to move more room. But my big cutter, I can't get my head around my big cutter. It's one where you put your paper down and lay your cutter on the top. It's still one of these ones where you press down. These are the ones I like, but it slips. The paper slips, and I can't get an exact size with it. As I say, I'm rubbish at measuring and cutting, so I need one. I did have, in fact I had two really cheap ones, and they measured perfect, but they were both ones I'd got second hand, and they're both, well, I've used them loads and loads and loads, but they're both broken now. So I really do need to treat myself to a new cutter that will help me cut straight. Yeah, so I've just got an edge all the way around there. So I need to find the topping for this. Now, oh, here they are. I was going to say I've put some somewhere. Oh no, that's not enough of a contrast. I don't like that one. Oh, these here are just edges of paper that where I'd printed something, it had got the white edge. So I've just picked up some of the colours and just used some distressed ink and just daubed it on the top. Actually, that does look alright. It's just that I'd still got some of the white edge on it, and I didn't want that white edge. So I could put that one on there, give a bit of white. I mean, if I was to go with that, I could literally then look at one of those white images. I'm going to have to try one of those white images, aren't I? But I fancy using one of these that I'm not sure whether the Mrs. Cogs are, but I could still, you know, I'm going to try that and see what that looks like with one of these white images. I'm going to have to try, but I haven't got this one. You'll just have to bear with me while I put some tape on it. And I'm not sure. What size is this tape? Oh, measuring the wrong end of this. That one's a 2 centimetre width, and this one is a 1 centimetre. So I'm hoping between the two I can cover this back with some. Actually, when I was going through looking for vellum today, I found some double-sided sheets. You know, double-sided sheets of you know, glued paper, and I didn't fixative papers. I can't even remember buying them. I don't know what I got them for. Obviously for my card making days, and I've never used them. So I'll probably have to bring them out and give them a bit of a try. Right, is that going to be thick enough? Suppose if I leave a little gap in between there, yeah, could do that. Just a tiny gap, because it's just needed a little bit thicker than this, but not. So I've literally just left the tiniest little gap, only tiny, only sort of fingernail gap in between. Oh. And I shan't be using a full one of these. Actually, I've just realised I've got a bit of a white edge on there, but because I'm leaving that white on, I'm going to leave it on. So I'll measure this just so that I don't have to cut on. I can use this piece for something else then. Yep, so I've got a little sticky piece there. If I do another smaller one, I can use it for that. So yeah, I like that on there. So again, don't go right up to the top with your piece of vellum, because you want to catch the back bit to stick them down, because as I say, any other kind of glue. I mean, you could put a little bit of Yoo-hoo there, because you're going to cover it up anyway. So that wouldn't really matter if you wanted to do that. In fact, I will just do that, just because it's vellum and it is slippery. I'm just going to just tack a tiny bit. You still want this to be able to lift up, you see, so but I've just put a tiny little bit there just to hold it down. And you won't see it because you're going to be putting this over the top. I mean, they're so quick and so simple to make. They're nothing complex, because I don't really do complexed. Oh, and because I haven't got my bone folder, I have to use the edge of my scissors, because sorry, that's probably will sound loud and horrible on the video. I do like these glass boards, but I've noticed some people when they're doing videos that clonk stuff down, and it really hurts my ears, and then now I'm doing it. I will forgive them now, because I've realised I do it as well. See there, I don't need to now move that again, because it's just gently stuck down, just to give me chance to get that on the edge. Oh, and I haven't got it on. Oh, that's it. The trouble with this double-sided tape, it's not very forgiving at all. So, because I have just caught that, I don't think it's going to let me, is it? Oh, it is. It's going to let me pull it off. I haven't got it right to the edge of the vellum, so I'm going to have to move it over a little bit. Oh, lucky I gave myself a bit more vellum at the edge. Just gives you, try and get it as neat at the top as you can, just looks better then. That's it, give it a good push down, that's it, and then it'll hold it then. And as I say, you can still write under there. And if you remember when I showed you this piece before, I'd actually got some printables on the other side. So obviously they show through the vellum on there, but they just look like a pretty design on there. They don't look a mess, they look okay. So just be aware of that if you are using some printable that's got something on the other side. Make sure you don't mind that showing. Not that you'll see it much, but as you're sort of flipping this up, especially if you are selling these, you know, in a journal or whatever. At some point I might have to think about selling them, as I've said before, because I couldn't have that many. I could do to get some more, you know, some things given away for birthdays, because I need to make some room. I've got no room to store everything. That's it, so that's so far. Oh, sorry, I will get used to this video idea eventually, I hope. Yeah, then I've just got some tiny little bits of vellum left. That can go in my bin. I've got a recycling paper bin at the side of me, and one for bits of plastic and bits of things, just an ordinary bin next to it. But I can't always get to them because the big bins, and I don't have lids on them, and then I store all sorts on top of them, my boxes and stuff. Oh, so these are these white stickers. I think I said in the last video, I'm not keen on them. I did say I was going to try some clear gesso over the top of them, and then see if I can colour the background, because it won't take the inks very well. It just rubs off, and I'm not keen on them. I've got to say, I am not keen on them. But because I've left a bit of white in that one, I'm going to go with it. I want to try and use them. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. It looks all right. Looks all right. Some people will like the white round. And I mean, when I was making my cards, you know, if I was doing it on a white card stock, then I didn't mind the white round. I think that's maybe where it's come from. Oh, put that in the wrong bin. That's a piece of plastic, and I've just put it in the recyclable. That's the plastic. Yeah, so does that need anything else? I don't know what else I've got here. I've got some stamps, but they're not the right colour. I don't know where that lovely little butterfly went to that I had. Oh, it's there. I don't know whether I quite like that, and I might put that on there as well. Do you know, I don't know whether you're the same, but if I get something in my head that I want to use it, I've got to use it. I just think, well, I've got to use that. I've got to use it. Do I want that under there? Like that. Just to make it a little bit different. And then when you lift that up, you've got that under there. You see, this has got a white edge around it because it's on the, like the vellum. This is like a vellum sticker or a washi tape sticker. Do I go there? Oh, I like that in there. I've got to go with this. I'm going to put it in that inside. Yeah, I get something in my head as soon as I try it, I think, and I try other things, I think, well, I don't know why I bothered, because I'm going to go back and use that. But I'm more decisive when the camera's turned on. When the camera isn't turned on, I just seem to pick something and stick it down and that's it. But then there's only me knows what I've done. And as I say, nobody else sees them because I don't sell them as such. Well, I do, I put them on Insta. I don't sell them, but I put them on Instagram so other people see them. But, yeah, so that. Oh, nearly tore that in half. Oh yes, I really like that under there. Can you see the effect? I'll just press it down so you can see it. So it's just dulled it down. So obviously when you lift this one up, it's got something on that page under there as well. I think that looks quite pretty. And then that's that one. Yeah. So I'll put those just in that box of bits. Right, have I got something slightly different that I can do on this one? Let me have a look. As I say, not got much on here, but I'm just looking at that. Do I want to do that on there? Like that, with one of these banners on, but it's white underneath. So if I'm going to do that, I'm going to cover it because I don't want the white underneath. What have I got to cover it with? This isn't vellum, this is just a piece of thin cardstock. And you could just put that on there. I like that with the banner bottom, it's a bit too big. How am I going to do that one then? Do I just put some, what have I got here? Oh, that's too thick. I've got some, obviously my Eco Dye papers are too thick. That's something thin. That's too thick, it's card. It's going to have to be thin card. Ooh, this is just one of my mop-up papers, but it's not the right colours. What have I got? Have I got any mop-up papers that would be okay? What's that? Oh, there. Do you know, I sometimes forget to change and put copy of paper in, and I end up with it all card or all copy of paper. I don't change them, and I should do. Do you know, sometimes I end up with all of the long one. It's got some text on there. I wonder if I just back that with some different text. I'll do that on this one, just because. I'm just checking that there's nothing, because it's a dictionary sheet. I don't want anything rude on it or anything offensive. I like to try if I can, but I've used them, you know, flowers or plant or something like that, so it's got a word in it. Oh, copying and copyright. Yeah, I suppose that's quite... that scares me to death, that I'm going to do something with copying and copyright. And I understand why, I understand the reason that you can't do it, and, you know, I fully agree with it, but I'm doing things I think, oh, I could just do with that image out that book. I haven't seen anything as lovely as that, and I want to put it onto some vellum or something, and think, well, I can't do that. Copyright, you can't do that. I have to remind myself. could have just stuck this straight down onto the, but then if you do that, you're losing a piece of your, you've not got it as a flip then, and I just like the idea of having it as a flip, so if you wanted to write something. Often because when I'm on holiday and I'm travelling and stuff, if I'm writing stuff, I've usually got somebody sat probably near me at a table, and I don't always want them to see what I'm writing. So if I've got something like this with a flip underneath, I don't have to hide it and make it look so obvious that I don't want them to see what I'm doing. I've stuck it on that side, and the copyright bit's on that side, so I've got that for another one. Other times I do that, but it doesn't really matter, it was just more to make a comment. Obviously when you're crafting on your, I might do talk to myself as well a bit, but so when you're crafting on your own, you don't have to talk, you can just sit and be quiet if that's what you want to be, but you don't want to just watch me doing this and you're not saying anything at all. But then I am just sort of chatting a bit of rubbish. I'm really trying to get more confident with doing this on the camera. It's funny because I was talking to my neighbour and I was saying to her, have you seen my video that I've done yet? Because her little boy loves YouTube, not crafting, may I say, but he likes watching these gamers gaming. I think this is the in thing at the moment, and he thought it was quite cool that I was doing a channel until he realised it wasn't on gaming. Then he wasn't that interested, bless him. But he did. They said they would have a look at it. You know, they would watch what I was doing. And I've lost my train of thought. I was going to tell you something about that then, about him, what he said. And I've forgotten now. Oh, gosh, I do that all the time. I was going to tell you something funny he said to me when I was telling him I was doing it. Oh, he was explaining to his mum how to get it up on the iPad. And he says, I'll do it while Lena's round here. I'd gone round for a coffee on Saturday morning. I mean, we live next door, and if we see each other, you know, we wave, but if we see each other to talk to, probably once a month. Usually it's if I'm looking after him, if you know, Mum or Dad's late home from work or something, that's when I see him. Very rare do we go round for coffee, but she just said, if you've got the time, pop in for a coffee. I haven't seen you for ages. So I popped round on Sunday morning, and he said, she said, oh, don't forget we've got that video of Lena's to watch, because it was the first one. I said, oh yes, I said, you can be my critic and tell me what you think of it. He says, oh, get it up and do it now. So I'm thinking to myself, oh no, I really didn't want to watch it myself. I've had to watch it once to make sure it was reasonable and it was okay, but I don't want to watch it again. Anyway, Mum must have seen my face, and she said, Lena, would you rather wait till we've gone and then we'll watch it when you're not here? I said, oh yes, please. I said, I don't mind you telling me, you know, I value your opinion, and no doubt he will tell me when I see him. He hasn't texted me to tell me, but he will tell me. He'll be saying, giving me some advice. I haven't shown my grandson yet, because I mean, he's only tiny, but he'll recognise my voice on, and I keep saying I'm going to show him and see if he knows who it is. Obviously he can't see my face, but I think he'll recognise my voice. Now then, I've done that, and I've just backed it with some paper. I'm going to just pink it up. I've just done the edges with a bit of this milled. Is it milled? It's milled. I think I said milled wine before. I'm thinking of mulled wine. It's milled lavender. Oh gosh, dear me. I'm thinking of my Christmas tipple. Not that I want Christmas yet. Mind you, I don't know what part of the country I'm in the UK, I don't know what part of the country you're in, but we've had so much rain this last couple of days, and as I was walking the dog last night I was getting absolutely wet through, and it was 10 degrees but it was ever so cold. I came home and I had to put the heating on, and that's not like me because I don't really get cold. Right, so I'm going to put that in the middle of there. I'm going to have to cut a bit off. I don't think I want anything else on that one. I think I quite like that. Now, I'm just wondering, can I fold that over? Just going to see. Oh, I think it's going to be a bit near that edge. I don't want it to restrict anything for folding, that's all. No, it still lets you open it up. Oh, I'm going to do that, I think. So I'm literally going to do this with a bit of Yoo-hoo. I don't need Fabri-Tac on this or anything. Just make sure I get right to the edges. And then again, I've just made a nice little crease so that the bottom of the tag bit is level. And then I'm just going to fold that over so it doesn't cause a problem with this opening. Give it a good fold down, a good press so it sticks. You know, depending on where you're putting these, I put them in a pocket. So obviously the bit of the other side shows as well. You could literally put a bit of something on that other side if you wanted to. You could put either a little stamped image. Should we do that on this one? Have I got a stamp nearby? I will have, I'm sure I will have. Oh, I've got a bee I don't want to be. I've got a butterfly, but that one's too... I had a tiny, tiny butterfly, didn't I? But, sorry, you probably don't know I had a tiny butterfly, but I did. I had a tiny butterfly nearby. What have I got there? I've got... what have I got that I can use? Oh, I've got some new I say new ones that I've had them a while, but I've not used them. What have I got in here that I can use? Oh, a butterfly. I thought I'd have a butterfly because I have loads of butterflies, but I've just seen a little sort of abstract flower. Oh, I wonder what that'll look like. What have I got? Use a bit of this, say this distressed ink. I'll use the blue, but the other day I got it too deep, didn't I? Oh, quite like that. Would that be okay with that? It would be on the other side, but I don't want it as deep as that. I'm going to just ink it all and then just see what it looks like. Oh, no, I need a full print of it then. These don't stick onto the block anymore. No, I'm not keen. That's a bit too big, I think, for what I want. That one's a bit too big. Oh, I've got some tiny little butterflies here, but they're on this plastic backing. Oh, that's a bit bigger one. Right, see if I can get this onto a block. If it'll stick on a block, it'll be easier to get across. Oh, they don't stick. Oh, let me use a bit of Yoo-hoo and see if I can stick it to the block. Just let me stick that down and show you what I'm doing. Yeah, it's just a little one, but it wouldn't stick to the block So I'm having to glue it. I've not tried it with UO before. I usually do it with double-sided tape. Right, let's just see what that does. So look. Oh, I'm going straight for it, so hopefully it's going to give me a crisp image. Hold it down a minute. Sorry, I'm laughing. Yeah, that looks okay. Just a little image on the back. Just so, but you don't have to say, you can do it whichever way you want. That one I'm just going to, because it's obviously a bit thicker with it having the card, I'm just going to fold it back on itself so you can still write under there. Let me put my inks away, so they're going to dry up. I'll have to, oh, that sticks to my fingers, but it won't stick to the block. Don't know why. That one worked, putting it, so that's a bit of a tip. If you have some of the stamps that don't stick to your block, just put a bit of glue stick underneath. Mine's Yoo-Hoo and it's worked really well. So it's the first time I've done that. I just needed to do something quick to see if it worked. Yeah, so that one's a bit more simple. It's not, but it's still exactly the same process. So that's one. Oh, I'll be just moving the stamps out of the way so I can show you what we've done today. Let me get my box of bits that I've been making. So that was the one I did just before I turned the camera on that I showed you at the beginning. And these are the three we've done on camera. That one that we've just done, and I've just backed that with some dictionary paper, just because it was plain white paper and I don't like it. This was the one that I did on the real pale pink paper and printed it onto some vellum, and it was okay because it's not got any copyright on that, so that was okay to do that. And put the little image underneath the vellum, which I really like. So this is the one that I was umming and ahhing about the white in here, so I used a strip with and purposely left the white there just so I could use that. And then that's the little tiny dinky one, and I've used vellum, but I haven't gone right to the edges, and I used one of my collage sheets as a washi tape at the top. And I just think they're really cute and really nice. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it the thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe. If you do subscribe, if you press the little bell, then you'll see all my other videos that I do as well. So I'd like to say thank you for watching. Bye for now.